Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're joining us from. Again, welcome to a brand new season of the Hard Zone. On the Hard Zone, we try to keep our conversation free from any bias, and just by way of disclaimer, all of the opinions and positions that will be offered on this network and this podcast tonight is not the official position of the network, but that of the individual panelists that will be offering them.
Having 4 people on the back of a taxi driver, you want to compare it with 6 people on the back of a motorcycle? Come on, bro, Sharif.
Donald Trump was a former president. His words are very powerful. You can't just accuse an entire community like that. It's wrong.
Listen, Walker, I was one of those people that he actually told me face to face in his home that I would declare my asset. I would make sure my officials declare their asset. And to this date, something as simple as that has not been done.
We are working. We are not going to allow this structure to have the opportunity for 6 years. And they never did anything besides stealing the Liberian people money.
We got to be honest here. This old man is one of the incompetent old men that I have ever seen.
We need to have someone who has the educational background as well as the field experience to be able to provide oversight.
All of what Kamala is promising now, the last 4 years, why haven't they done anything? She and Joe Biden.
Look, church leaders, if Liberia will be better, you must play your role.
It is too early to criticize Walker because it is the formation stage.
Again, I'm your host. My name is Derek Yale, and let's get started. Good evening. Wherever you're watching us from, let me say welcome. Welcome to the Liberia Radio and Television Network. Thanks again for joining us here for another episode of the Hard Zone, precisely episode 10 of season 7. My name is Derek Yale, and obviously I'll be playing host tonight. And if this is your first time joining us, let me first and foremost welcome you to this network. This is the Liberia Radio and Television Network. And the Liberia Radio and Television Network is a local media institution right here in Northeast Philadelphia. We have our office open in Liberia for business as well. And we also run a web page that you can get resources from Liberia and the diaspora published by other news outlets. And that web page is the LRTN.net. So make sure you check that web page out to get updates on developments in Liberia and the diaspora. We have a page on YouTube where this the podcast will be streaming live, and that is the Liberia Radio and Television Network. If you can join us on Facebook, please make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. And our Facebook page is the Liberia Radio and Television Network, or LRTN, and we also run an Instagram page at 215_LRTN. So make sure you're following us on all of those pages, and most importantly for this episode, make sure you're sharing it on all of your social media network. Again, guys, the Liberia Radio and Television Network is proud to present another episode of the Hard Zone. And the Hard Zone is an opinion-based talk show where we feature a team of panelists from different political ideologies, persuasions, different political institutions. And here on the Hard Zone, there's no gimmick, no fluff, just real talk. We have our panelists lined up in the back who we will be bringing on very shortly. But before we get them on here, let me just give you an idea on what to expect tonight. We should have been bringing our current event, but I will just highlight one very important one, and then we will bring you our panelists on, and then after that, we will introduce the conversation for the night. We'll take a couple of breaks, but after our last break, we will have our panelists give you the final words on this episode, and then we will draw the curtain to this episode. With that being said, for our current event, I would like to focus on, we're right around Ramadan 2025. If you are a person of that faith, the Muslim faith, or you have a friends and family who happen to be from that faith, the first day of fasting for Muslim holy month Ramadan in Mecca will be Saturday, March 1st, or Sunday, March 2nd, depending on the Saturday of the new moon. Other countries, especially in the Western Hemisphere, could see the Ramadan moon before Mecca this time. So Ramadan is coming up. Brothers and sisters of the Muslim faith will be observing that holy month of fasting. So again, that's all we're going to feature for this. If you want to know more about Ramadan, ask a person of the Muslim faith near you, or just Google it. I'm reading it from the Al Jazeera page right now. But again, guys, before we introduce our panelists for this episode, again, let me encourage all of you watching us to please make sure you are following this network, and make sure you are sharing this podcast and this live Facebook stream to your individual social media pages, so that your friends and family will be able to benefit from what we have in store tonight. With that being said, guys, I would like to introduce my panelists for tonight. I lost the screen. Hold on. Thank you, Mr. Brown and Mr. Bodan. And Mr. Sheriff, let me say welcome to all of you, first and foremost. And to everyone watching us in wherever you are, we'd like to say welcome to episode 10 of season 7. My name is Derek Yale. I will be your host for the night, and I'm joined by some of my esteemed panelists, some of which will be joining us later on. Mr. Agnew Brown, Mr. Prince Sheriff, and Mr. Boda. Welcome to the show. I'd like to start with you, Mr. Brown. Welcome to another episode.
Thank you, Mr. Yale. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Mr. Martin Boda, welcome to episode 10 of season 7.
Thank you, Derek. Thank you. Great being here tonight and good to be on the show.
Mr. Boda, if you can just adjust your audio, you sound
a little bit lower.
Yes.
All right, I'll do that quick. That's better?
Yes, much better. But I said welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, and it's a pleasure seeing you all. So let's do it.
Thank you very much. And Mr. Prince Sheriff, welcome to another episode.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me start by saying Assalamu alaikum to our brothers from the Muslim faith and those who will be observing, the Ramadan, this holy month. I want to say, may the blessings and the peace of Allah be upon all of you. Thank you. And let me just say hi to the panelists and to the audience. And again, we want to encourage you to please do us a favor. Tag someone, hit the share button, Let's be very interactive in the comment section. And let's have a wonderful time, because today is going to be, a very great discussion. So thank you. We are here.
Thank you very much, Mr. Prince Sheriff. And guys, again, welcome to the show. We have 3 of our esteemed panelists here, and we will have some of them joining us later on as the show progresses. And we have a lot going on. We are here to talk about them and give you our panelist position on those issues, and also ask some of the questions that you may have. Please make sure, like Mr. Sherry said, use the comment section and keep the show interactive. We will be highlighting some of the comments here. But again, let's get right into it. We have a lot of stuff going on, a whole lot of stuff going on in the continent of Africa, America, and some places. But tonight we're going to focus primarily on what's going on in Liberia. We've been seeing a lot of things going on. We saw President Joseph Boakai dedicating a hand pump in Babolo County. I'm sure the people of that county will appreciate that, is appreciating the president for his effort in carrying out the initiative to bring safe drinking water to their people, and also honor the stewardship of the Minister of Water and Sewage in Liberia, Mo Ali. So again, but while in the midst of the appreciation, some have heavily criticized the president, and we're here to talk on both sides. And also in other developments, we've seen the leadership crisis at the House of Representatives have yet to be resolved, and we will briefly talk about that. And amongst other things, we will heavily focus on issues going on in Liberia. But again, I don't like to just dwell on a particular development in Liberia. As you guys saw, the AFL and the Liberia National Police clash recently, and the Liberia National Police on their Facebook page debunked that. But we've been seeing videos of that, so we will talk about that and just overall what's going on with this administration. We've seen developments relating to lawlessness, and we've seen what some described as mediocre development. Again, we have our panelists here to give you their take, and do not let the panelists speak for you. Go ahead, make this show interactive, talk to us in the comment section, and we will make sure to highlight that. But again, back to you guys. We highlighted 3 main issues, again, but it's open to whatever you find of interest. So I would like to start with you, Mr. Buddha. Those issues, we'll talk about them one at a time, but I'd like to do an open panel first and foremost so we can know what's heavily on the minds of the panelists. Mr. Buddha, let me give you the time.
Trying to start trouble today. All right, let's do it. Look, it's disappointing first to say there are a lot of things that is not what we expect to see in our society. There are a lot of disciplinary action in terms of government functionings and so forth. So for someone who has supported this government and continue to support them to succeed, it's disappointing to see some of the things that is happening. But we also have to understand that Liberia is at a crossroad where there are a lot of stuff, the mindset, the people behavior, their attitude have an impact in our day-to-day activities. And the country is heavily divided, and people are expecting some rapid change. They want this immediate response from government, and that is not forthcoming at this point. So you see a lot of frustration in government, in the people, in the citizenry. So it's kind of difficult. And a lot of the time we not following, the citizens themselves don't follow most of the events, and they just carry on, move on with their emotions about event. If thing is happening, instead of taking their time to really investigate or follow up what is happening, they just look at things from the emotional point of view. And because that emotional attitude is there, you're not getting the feedback that you need to have from them, because a lot of them expectations were too high when the government took over. They expected the cost of commodity to drop immediately. They expected to be working immediately, and they wanted everything the immediate response, and that is not possible. First, you have to first of all look at the government in its totality, the revenue of our sector. Government is the only heavily employed sector, for the Liberian citizenry. And the lack of experience, most of the people don't have any skill, they don't have training, and you don't have the kind of institution to absorb them, to work for them. And many of them have become petty traders. So you see the law, if you look in the street of Monrovia, you see people are very frustrated, they are angry. Bunch of the citizenry, everywhere you turn, you see that tension, this anger everywhere. So there's a lot. And then to couple that anger with all of the functioning of government, is just compound the problem that is at hand right now. So there is a lot in Liberia, and it's not favorable, and it doesn't look good, on the scene of government and in the overall picture of Liberia right now. People are
Thank you.
angry. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Go ahead. I want to. Are you done? I'm sorry.
Yes, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I'll come back to you. But you're saying two things here. One, you feel like the way things are going, you're disappointed in it. But on the other side, you bring in like people emotion into it, like, or you almost sound like you're making the excuses for the administration. I would like for you to talk more now. How should the Labrampo feel, disappointed or wait, like you were saying? But let's hear from you, Mr. Prince Sharif. I will come back to you. Let me get all of the panelists or opening statement first. Mr. Sharif.
He's muted. So.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, please. I'm sorry. All right. Again, I want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity. There are a lot of things that we have on our plate, but because of time, we just have to, consume what we have. But I want to start from this angle that Liberia is fastly deteriorating in every sector of government, and it's worrisome. Those of us that care about our country, those of us that every time when we sit, we think about Liberia, we are deeply worried and afraid that the progress that we have made over the period of, whether you say 6 years or 18 years, that under this particular government led by Mr. Boeka, that it is fastly declining. It is worrisome. For some of us that have almost everything in Liberia, we are worried. When it comes to the rule of law, today we are seeing that Liberia is at a total collapse and is being used by international terrorist group. It is worrisome. But again, we are here to discuss, and I just want to say to the audience again, let's have a very interactive section, and we will try to do our best to give you the information with all of the facts. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sheriff. When you speak about Liberia, you make people that are concerned about Liberia actually very afraid. Are things really how you are describing it, or is it worse, or is it better? I will come back to you so you can talk to us, and maybe you kind of have my panelists rebuttal to what you're saying on the current situation ongoing in Liberia. But let's hear from Mr. Agnew Brown. Mr. Brown, you're on mute.
Yeah, Derek, thank you very much for once again having me on this show. I would like to speak about a few things. Firstly, I'm highly disappointed in some of the Liberian people that would applaud the donation that was recently made by the president. Now, let's have this first. The donation was made by the government. Okay, if I'm wrong, I stand to be corrected. But it was called the donation is actually called the Rescue Reservoir. Like I said, I stand to be corrected. That was a government initiative, right? And that is one of you. Let's be real. Some of the reasons we are still where we are is because we have some people know that things like this is not, what it needs to be. But we protect it. We say, yes, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yes, that's true. He's bringing, it bring light on things like safe drinking water. Yes, that's true. Okay. But we have to see, these are the same donations that was made 2005 and we're in 2025. See what I'm saying? So that's one of the things I really need us to talk about. And another thing, man, I'm not sure what is really going on in the among the representative and the lawmakers, but I feel like that I don't feel like by Constitution the president can speak up. He can say something. There's a lot of ways. Public engagement. He can speak up and hold these guys and talk about it. He can have a deliberation. He can have a lot of things to talk about it. But we seeing nowadays, every day is something different. It's something different going on in the city hall every single time. Okay, so I feel like the president need to talk about that. Yeah, we have a lot to talk about today. But Derek, thank you for having me again.
Thank you. You got the ball rolling. The situation with the rescue reservoir, like you said, I don't know if that's the theme for that project, but again,
it actually was. It actually is the rescue reservoir. Sorry.
Let me since you get the ball rolling, why don't I come to you? I know you know I was going to come to you, Mr. Boda. I want to stay with your initial statement, right? When you talk about the overall condition of the country, what people are going through, it seems to be saying two things. Either you were disappointed or the Liberian people reacting too soon. I need some clarity. You want the Liberian people to wait? Do you think there's light at the end of this tunnel of this administration? Because you seems to be, you've expressed that, disappointed. How should the Liberian people feel? Just provide some clarity for us before we get into the whole project in Babolu County. Mr. Boda.
So, first and foremost, you have to understand the economic, the strength, the political, the financial, the strength of money that come into the country. Government income generating aspect. And do we have the capacity, the financial capacity to absorb all of our economic challenges that we have? No, we don't. So the citizenry do not understand. Many of them don't understand. They think government just has stockpile of money somewhere that they can just pull and take care of all the problem. It doesn't work like that. Secondly, when the year budget, the government put $800 some more million in the budget. That is not money that is sitting down. That is a projection that government is making. Government is saying, hey, look, we expect to raise this amount during the fiscal period that we have set up. Is that definitely multiply end of cash? No, it doesn't. So all of those challenges are there. And when you look at the global challenges that is happening around the world, that also have to affect the Liberian situation. Because firstly, we are not an exporting country. We import everything into the country. All right? We're not exporting anything outside that will boom our economy. Where do we have to fight against the global challenges? We don't have anything right now. So most of our thing would depend on that. Citizen rate, many of them don't know the functionality of government every day. What I'm disappointed is the official of government who needs to educate and explain and get these people the requisite information that they need to have, giving them wrong signals. Because the way somebody changing their lives within a short period of time create that kind of a feeling that you see in the economy or in the country. So that's where my disappointment comes from. And secondly,
before you go to the second aspect, I will come back to you on this because I think this is very important based on where I think this conversation is going, especially on what's going on in Liberia. Mr. Sheriff, I will come back to you, but I want for Mr. Sheriff to comment on this. Just listening to Mr. Boda, right? Mr. Sheriff, you're painting a picture here that Liberian people's expectation doesn't align with their understanding of what government is, what it should be, or what it should be doing. You talk about the financial capabilities. You talk about the officials of government giving a wrong signals. Mr. Sheriff, I want to bring this to you. Do you think that's even if not perfectly describe the situation of what's going on with Liberia overall? Mr. Sheriff.
Yeah, so I know I'm having some distraction from my end. I will appeal that you just pass it over to Mr. Brown while I take care of the distraction, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I will get back to you. But Mr. Brown, you listen to Mr. Boda. The government don't have enough money. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Boda. And the government official are not educating the people that the government don't have enough money, or don't have any money. That's why we're not doing what we're supposed to do. Do you agree with that statement? Do you think that distracts the situation of the Liberian people?
No, I do not agree with the statement. I absolutely don't agree with the statement. I don't feel like, but the government of Liberia have money for what they want to have money for, like buying lawmaker cars and scratch cards and all those other things. They have money for those things, but they don't have money for safe drinking water for the people. Now, I would just say this, right? MCC have donated since 2004, has donated, has invested $2.2 billion in safe drinking water in Liberia. Okay, so these numbers are coming up. We are seeing things, and all these lawmakers have all this money. We have money for the things that we want to have money for. So no, I don't agree. I disagree with that, Derek.
Thank you, Mr. Boda. Let me come back. I don't know if you'd like to respond to Mr. Brown, but again, you have that in your court. I would like to finish what you were saying.
Well, I don't know where his source of the 2.1 billion dollars
since 2004. Yeah.
So 2004.
Since 2004, the MCC has invested.
So this is what I was saying to you, because since 2004, $2.4 billion.
2.2
billion you mentioned. And where was the funding? Those funding came from government generated revenue.
There was invested from the MCC.
I'm asking you, was that money invested? That government invested came from the revenue that the government
if MCC government investor,
was that money generated by the Liberian government and invested into MCC? That's what you
was
said.
MCC is MCC. This will answer your question. Is MCC government investor?
Because what I'm trying to get to you here is that maybe you're not, because a lot of the time, that's what I talk about, the information, the dissemination of information in Liberia is very poor by government, and government officials misrepresent themselves in many forms. Because many of the money that you're talking about investing in from 2004 to now, many of the money are donors' money that was sent into MCC. Many of the donors' money were not directly directed to MCC. But at the end of the period in which you're talking about, those periods have been outlined that government spend that amount of money into water development projects. Those projects are outlined by all of the international organizations that were running different, that we're talking about hand pump, different water things that were done, purification of water and other stuff. All this fall within that billion. You talk about government did not set budget of $2.2 billion from 2004. If you break that money into how money came from tax collected by the Liberian government to invest, you'll be disappointed from the figure you just read.
What is your point, Mr. Boda? Because
yes.
I'm assuming that Mr. Brown's point was, if that amount has been invested into safe drinking water, it's embarrassing for the president. And again, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to use your words, to be donating a hand pump, which some believe that is a mediocre achievement, especially given the figure that Mr. Brown is a legend that has been invested into Liberia for water, for safe drinking water.
2004, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Bola, are you satisfied with what you see the donation?
No, I'm trying to explain to you. I'm not about me being satisfied. I'm not satisfied with money that was spent, that was using Liberia, and the work of that money that I see. It's not satisfactory.
I'm talking about the specific. I'm talking about the specific of the water that the donation that he did.
That's what I'm saying to you. You and I do not understand. You don't understand the dynamic. How government money that are being spent in government. Some of these money.
Well, what does that money have to do with his specific donation?
Mr. Brown, let's allow Mr. Boda to.
I'm trying to explain.
Let's protect Mr. Boda.
Mm-hmm.
My production team ahead of me. Mr. Boda, if you don't mind, let's watch the video And then let's talk about the whole water
The
donation.
2.2 billion is not.
Okay, let's get for the 2.2 billion dollar. Let's forget about the 2.2 billion dollar. I'm talking about this specific.
Mr. Brian, and Mr. Boda, let's watch the video, and then let's talk about
2.2 billion dollar. Let's talk about this specific. This specific.
Mr. Brown, let's talk about let's watch the video.
This is not. This does not even. This is not even regulate a president donation.
Mr. Brown,
this does not even respect a president donation.
Mr. Brown, for the sake of our audience, let's watch the video, and then we'll get back to both of you, including Mr. Sheriff. Let's talk about this rescue project. Again, before we play the video, we'll have to give credit to our sister network today, Libera TV. This is the intellectual property of them. So let's watch the video. Actually, it's an audio. Can you guys hear it?
No audio on it. The video just paused at one point where he just got in the room. So is that where it is?
It's supposed to be an audio. But anyways, you guys have seen the video. We'll get back to it when the production team can figure out to get this working. But you guys have seen the video. I know. Let me give Mr. Sheriff and Mr. Brown chance to rest. Let Mr. Sheriff, right? You've seen the video. You follow this development on this rescue reservoir project, and I'm trusting that is the right name, Mr. Brown. And tell us what you think, Mr. Prince Sheriff.
Yeah, thank you. This entire picture that depicts the president of our republic dedicating a hemp pump that even an individual can do better is a disgrace to our country. I'm sorry, the distraction, I hope is not.
Yeah, we'll get back to you, Mr. Sheriff. But let's bring this.
As a matter of fact, Derek, it was a project undertaken by the Libera Water and Sway. That's as a matter of fact.
Mr. Brown, Mr. Boda, talk to us. This project, let's break it down. What do you think?
So I didn't. First of all, I now watched the entire video, but let's look at it from context. Okay. I know there are many disagreements or many thought process regarding how people mind and people perception about what is happening at the ceremony, how it looks, and the president presenting something that is not a mecca water run pipe system. The entire community, the entire Bapolo now has running water. That is our hope and expectation that we think should have been done. But having visited Bapolo City myself, and I was there for 2-3 days, and walk around the community that I saw. It was deplorable, and it's still deplorable. It has not changed. And one must argue, oh, the president donating this. But if you look at that reservoir is not just a little well that is just docked with a hand. There's a building. If you look behind that pond, there is a reservoir that's where they got a lot of tank that's store water for the community, pure water for them to drink, and they come and fetch the water over there. So what should be first of all considered? Yeah, it's something being done. It's not what you expect. Expectation is another thing. Your expectation could be a whole other thing. But what is the reality? Is the reality there? No. Expectations are not always reality. But the reality that we have now, we got something that the people can benefit from today, for the interim. That is not what's going to be there forever. If it's be there, there'll be a government continuity, they can make another changes. So let us not just bash the government. Oh, look at the president because look at who are the beneficiaries of that community. It might not be the mega or the biggest reservoir or the way you have water running through all homes reached by water, point-bound water. We don't have it in the, even the Monrovia, it is environment does not even have a point-bound water reaching every resident, not even electricity, from 1847 to today's date. So let's think about it. We don't even have it in the capital. The political capital of 175 years is not being reached, home reached by electricity or water and sewer from 1847 to this point. So that is a shame within itself, a disgrace for the entire nation and its people. Okay? We're starting a fresh start of a government. Today, I can say from 2012 to now. When Eddie took over for 12 years, George Weah came. Today is Walker for a year. So it might not be what we're all expecting here. I'm not expecting that, but there's something being done. That's the content we should be looking at.
Thank you, Mr. Boda. Before I come back to you, Mr. Brown. Let me just say this to you, Mr. Boda. Let me ask you a question, okay? How would you compare our president's achievement specifically to that or rescue reservoir to his contemporaries, the other presidents in Africa? Look at Burkina Faso. For example, we talk about infrastructure development, agriculture modernization, the degree in which President Bouaká got his degree. We look at other countries around Africa, the projects they are undertaking. Well, our president of the oldest nation on the continent, how do you feel him standing by a project, although they say was worth over 250K, that seems way less, that a Liberian in the diaspora can undertake, and it wouldn't cause any financial harm to him? Our president traveling to Bapolo County to dedicate that project. How do you feel about that, and how do you expect the Liberian people to take that? Mr. Boda, let me give you 30 seconds, and I don't know if Mr. Sheriff ready, but I will come to him again.
So yes, what I would tell you in regards to Burkina Faso and Liberia. First, you got a junta. Okay, a junta government is not an elected government. Second, Burkina Faso had divorced themselves from their colonial masters. Third, it takes a will of the people of that junta to do so. Secondly, look at Liberia's situation. You got a democratic form of government where you got the Senate, the House, and so forth. There are a lot of bureaucracy to come to a lot of things that government can do. Bouaká cannot just unilaterally do anything. It has to go through this House, the Senate. Got a whole lot of bureaucracy going on. He cannot just dictate anything to the country.
And that's what led him. And that's what led him to that hand pump. Mr. Boda, let me hold your thought.
Like I said, you see, your focus is just on the hand pump. There's a bigger picture, a lot of things in Liberia.
I will give you the opportunity to tell us about it in comparison to that, to the rest, to the rest of the reservoir.
So if we're willing, in Liberia, willing to divorce ourselves from most of colonial masters, leave America alone, leave the European, and take some drastic measure. That's the question we got to be asking ourselves.
What does that have to do? Easily. Mr. Boda, I will come back to you, but let's hear from Mr. Sheriff. Mr. Sheriff, you've been listening. Talk to us.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I'm sorry for, the distraction there. But again, like I said from the very initial, it is troubling in Liberia. What we saw in Bapolu is just an indication that Mr. Bouaká and his gang does not care about the people. And I look at that as an insult. The reason why I'm saying that is, first of all, let's look at the county Bapolu and look at the companies that are there. They have that Western Cluster region, right? They have one of the the biggest construction company that is operating in that particular county that Grand Cape Mount is benefiting from, or bombing is benefiting from, and also Bapolu is benefiting from. I believe the resources, or one would say the revenue that are generated from that particular concession that is operating in those counties is enough that government can even use a portion, of that to do something better than what was done in Bapolu. What was done in Bapolu is just show to how insensitive the government is towards the plight of the people. When we're talking about the project, let's be realistic here. Let's first of all look at the durability of a project. When we're talking about project, let's not just talk about the project, but let's look at the durability. Is this project durable enough that can go beyond maybe, for example, 5, 6, 7 years, or that can go for the next generation? These are things that we must look at. Let's look at also the population. Now, what percentage of the population is going to benefit from this particular project? Let's look at the most vulnerable groups within that particular county that are going to benefit from the project. Now, let's look at the cost of the project and where that particular project is implemented. Because let me tell you something that people must understand. Based on the location, certain amount that you will call, somebody will say, Mamelo, start playing fun here. If you look at a building of 500,000 in the United States here, that same building or that same amount, when you take it and carry it to Liberia, because of the location, you will tell that 500,000 will make a significant mark in Liberia as compared to here, the United States of America, taking into consideration so many factors, materials, etc., taxes, and etc. So like the houses that some of us live in, when you look at somebody's house, they tell you, say, oh, the house that $300,000 house. And if you even use half of that 300,000 in Liberia, it could give you a whole mansion. So when you look at Bapolu and you look at that particular project that is carried to that place, you will see that it is an insult for the people. It's an insult. And to even further exacerbate the whole thing, to have the president of the, why must we reduce the office of the presidency to this particular level? Why must we? That it has to take a president to go and dedicate a hand pump? Look at the building. Look at that particular building. In fact, look at that building. Does that building even represent a building that should be standing in this modern day, age, and time? Forget about the location. Forget about the people. Forget about the county. Somebody say, oh, Bapolu, they think he had never been there before. But Mr. Bweka said something, and I want to bring the audience attention to. When he was in Lofa, he said he encouraged his official to be corrupt. But Jada, when they are corrupt, they must take some of the money and use it on the Liberian people. Basically, what Mr. Bweka was saying to his official is that, Steve, be corrupt. Just use small of that money and just take it and pretend like you put it in a project, because the Unity Party is noted for this thing. They are very good at that. Very good. Look, that's one thing I will give the Unity Party credit for. They know how to use the paperwork to steal from the Liberian people. They know, they are very good at that. And these are things that are happening. For you to look at that project and tell the Liberian people, how durable is that project? Look at the building. Look at, in fact, that building. Does that building represent a building that will be there in a very, good condition for the next 10 years? A county that is a minimal rich county? Let's even forget about what the government spend on it. But what is the social corporate responsibility of the companies that are there? I believe the companies that are operating, if you are to tell them, say, my people, you build this thing, they could have done better. Better than that thing that we're looking at. It's a disgrace in our age, day, and time in our generation. And nobody here living here, especially in the United States. Maybe somebody that all the way in Bokonjide can say, okay, yeah. But those of us that are here in the United States, none of us should be able to give that thing credence. We should condemn it. We should condemn it. Because this is not something that you will want for a Liberia in 2025, in the 21st century. It's not something that you will want. Look, even our own brother here, Mr. Boda, could even do better than what we saw in that Bapulu County. Could do better. You're talking about a government project? Then you go show us that thing? What percent of the population is going to benefit from that? That's what we should be asking ourselves. What is the durability? Look, this is an insult for the lack of better word
Thank
to
you.
the Liberian people.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sheriff. Again, before I come back to you, Mr. Brown and Boda, let's see the picture of this government project once again. If the production thing can have it on the screen, and I'd like to ask let me. I want the production team to put Mr. Boda. Let me have a picture again of this government project. There's a picture of it. You want that a full building? That's the building.
Okay, the entire, show the diagram, the whole entire place. Not just
We do not have all of that. This is what the government of Liberia.
Show one segment, and you don't. That's not being judged.
Then you can do us that favors and just describe what's around it. That maybe will be way better than what we're seeing.
I can't do that. This is where the argument is. This is the point that you're making. So you should have the entire segment, not just take what you want to show to the public.
So you're saying
just show one segment, and then your analysis is not being fair.
They're showing is there any part of the project that's missing that will make?
I mean, you show the entire place and give your assessment.
You see the water about to be polluting the people in their yard. But go ahead.
My man,
Mr. Boda, I think we're
I just want you to let the people see.
Let me, Mr. Boda, I'll come to you, right? I will come to. Let me ask you directly. Maybe you can help us. Is there anything that this picture is not showing? And what I really wanted to ask you, no, because we're not even getting. That's not even our.
If you depicting something, you don't just want to show one segment.
I think he showed every part. I think he showed
analysis of what is going on. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying anything about that building. I'm saying to the audience who watching, it's not everybody here seeing it. We've been showing just the handpoint itself. You want to show the whole diagram, dimension of everything in that whole area.
What are we, Mr. Boda? What are we missing from that project?
I'm not saying, if that's why you got the entire thing there, then you're missing a lot because you're not showing the entire picture.
But then tell us what.
I'm not again, you brought this. You must be able to tell the audience where you're. Let me ask you. Don't just bring one. I can't just show the man face. Oh yeah, the man had to point your man face.
Let me ask you.
You don't see what happened. Nothing. That's what you're doing here.
I think they show every side of that project, and if you go on the executive mansion page, I think they have a very good video there.
You brought this thing on the media
to
discuss
it.
You might have all of your facts, all of your evidence, not just
the pictures and videos are there.
Everything you're seeing here on the show.
Okay, I will come to you either ways. I'm going to ask you this question.
I'm going to defend what you're going to ask me, but let's be realistic. The audience to the audience, give everything to the audience. The size of the building is small, yes, I agree. Because it's small and not doing anything for anybody there. That's the point here, because the government did it, so it should be for the entire township or for the whole Bapulu at one point. That's the argument here. It's small for the entire county, which I agree. But Bapulu, the township in Bapulu, you don't have over 5,000 people living in that town. I don't think we got 3,000 people living in Bapulu town, that particular town.
Someone asking in the comment section, what else do you want us to see? But again, you heard Mr. Sheriff, and he said something that I want.
Mr. Sheriff, he talked a lot that I need to ask him. He made a lot of points.
Let me give you the opportunity to respond to Mr. Sheriff. Do you agree that by the president going over there to dedicate that project on behalf of the Liberian people, that's an insult to the people of Babolu County. Do you think?
No,
do
it's
you
not an
agree with me?
insult. It's
Tell
not
us
an
why or
insult.
why not.
It's not an insult. It's not an insult. I don't see
I'm
anywhere
giving
insult.
the opportunity to expand because you
So
said you wanted to.
here's the point.
Mhm.
I was glad that my brother Sherry mentioned about what B Mountain is in Buffalo. They were there for 6 years.
We're
They still there.
not taking this
No, no, no,
conversation
no, no,
backward.
no.
All right, go ahead.
He
Go ahead.
mentioned that. He mentioned about the resources that B Mountain have produced, that provided for Liberian government, and a contribution to that community. For 6 years, B Mountain have been in Buffalo, contributed on a regime, and Buffalo got nothing to show off today. But yeah, he pushing today that somebody delegating a handphone is so detrimental to the poor of Buffalo. It's so disgraceful. It don't help them. It don't do anything for them. That is hypocrisy to the highest.
Thank you. I'm pretty sure Mr. Sherry want to respond, but let's hear from Mr. Brown. Do you agree with both Mr. Sheriff and Mr. Boda, one accusing the other of hypocrisy from the previous administration? Mr. Sherry clearly says it's an insult to the people of Babolu County for the government of Liberia to donate a project like that to the people of Babolu County, and overall, the president to go there to donate a project. We just saw the picture. We've seen several videos of that project. What is your take on this again, Mr. Brown?
Derek, the same thing. My same statement, brother. And I will say this: any and every Liberian that was living there in the Western world and look at that project and then give it a little bit of credit, don't like Liberia, in my opinion. And I feel like these are the reasons that the Liberian government are not pushing forward. They're not going nowhere because we are looking, a lot of us saying back, saying, okay, let's leave them. It's okay. They are doing something. They are not doing nothing. We have to put pressure on them. We have to make them do something. And how can we make them do something? When they do mediocre things like this, we have to be out there and say, look, guys, what you guys doing is mediocre. And to Mr. Sheriff laid a lot of points. He said everything right. And I think to his point was Bear Mountain and all these companies that are out there, they are paying taxes. They are paying taxes. Half of their tax money could be used to do a better job as to what the president went out there to do. I believe that was one of his points when he mentioned that. So we say here, we cannot, we should not. That's a disgrace, Derek, for a president. So yes, that's a disgrace. I agree to Mr. Sharif.
Thank you, Mr. Sharif. Let me have you respond to what you just heard, and then we'll take our first break, and we'll come back. We'll get into that LNP and the AFL crisis. Go ahead, Mr. Sharif.
Let me just say to the Liberian people, you remember the beginning of this saga, in the House of Rep, the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation and other, let's say, institution or government agency were accused of giving money to those lawmakers to unseat the speaker. And to be very specific, the Liberian Water and Sewer Corporation was named. Let me tell you this. Yes, indeed, the Liberian Water and Sewer, Mo Ali, used that money, was one of the ministry that they used to take that money to illegally try to remove Speaker Kofa. So what we are seeing here, these people just want to prove that indeed that amount that was allocated was what they used it for. But it wasn't. They used that money to sponsor, how you call these surrogate lawmakers that call themselves majority. So what we are seeing is just, let's do something so that we can prove that, yes, 250,000, we use it in Gbapolu for that particular purpose. So Liberian people needs to get this. Like I said, the Unity Party, the guys are very clever. They will want to use the paper trail, thinking that, Liberia will fall for this kind of thing. They are very good at that. In their 12 years in government, they use the procurement processes in Liberia to steal a lot. And that's what they are doing today. That's the same old thing they are doing. That's what they are doing. Let's look at Bapolu. You talk about what did. We are not comparing or contracting here. You took over and said you are coming to rescue the people of Liberia. So I should not even be doing that. But for the sake of the audience, let us see what Bapolu benefited from the regime of His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah with the challenges that we had under his 6 years. Almost 2 years were eaten away by the coronavirus, which nobody can argue it. You know that. But let's look at Bapolu. Today, we can say that Bapolu, today you have a hospital in Bapolu that is catering not only to Grand Cape Mount County, not only to Bomi, not only to Bapolu, but also to a portion of Sierra Leone. Right in Bapolu. Roads were built in Bapolu County under the regime of President George Manneh Weah. Under the regime of President George Manneh Weah, the taxes that we received from the company that was operating is what gave the students of Bapolu the opportunity to attend WAS without paying a dime for the 6 years. Without paying a dime. Building the human resource capacity of Bapolu County. These were some of the benefits. We could go on and on and on and name it. So from the resources that was collected, if Honorable Boda is asking, what did you do? You are there for 6 years. What did you do? In fact, we should not even be talking. You were there for 12 years. With all of the resources that you received from international community, right? The 16 billion, Ome was there. What did you do? If you want us to juxtapose, to start there, compare, okay, let's agree, let's compare. You were there for 12 years. You received all of the money. In fact, you received one of the highest amounts as far as our post-war, government is concerned. So what did you do there? Road could not even go down there. You used almost $8 million. $8 million. You say you were being road to that place there where they call that how you call the place there? They prison your Bele Yala. It only lasted for 6 months. During the rainy season, it damaged. Look, Liberians, let us be sincere. Look, we can affiliate ourselves with whatever political party, right? But let's remember, Liberia is what matters. And these people, they're listening to us. Let us be sincere. Look, do not support somebody when they are drowning and you know that they are drowning, but you clapping for them. Hey, they make a swim. Oh, hey, they make a swim. Oh, they make playing star. He beating for the fire in the water. Oh, they make go on. But you know very well that this man is drowning. What does it take you for you to look at the face of Mr. Boyka and say, look, Mr. Boyka, I agree with you. I support you. I love your agenda, etc., etc. But I think this one is a mistake. Let me tell you this. Those of us who are very critical of the government, when we are saying these things, sometimes people will say, oh, that the people there, they always critical. So sometimes people will just think that we are talking politics. But those of you who have soft spot for this regime, you may not be maybe a member of the Unity Party or so, but for the fact that you have some soft spot, when you speak against some of the ills, the people will listen to you more and they will be concerned because they know that you are in their interest. So if you look at them and say, look, my people, that's true, I support you, but they want your power, what you do, they're not looking correct. And so that will send out a signal. But if you have people in a kind of mediocrity, form and trying to defend, look, this is indefensible. Don't spoil your character for the thing. Don't do it. Don't do it. You got thousands of people listening to you. You live in the diaspora here. Don't do it. It doesn't mean because you are associated with a political party, so therefore, when the person beat for the fire, you must say the person flying in the air. When the person storm a toe, you must say, oh yeah, the man was joking. Don't do that. It's not correct. You have your reputation. This show here, this thing will be here for generations to come. We will do this thing today, we'll leave from here. But after 10, 15, 20 years, when we shall have leave this particular earth, thank God for Facebook, you will still see this record. What will the generation after 15 years say about Mr. Boda in defense of
They
this
cannot
particular
say
disgrace
anything.
to the people? What would they say?
First
We
and
should not do
foremost,
that.
Sherry,
We should
Thank you.
not.
I
Thank you. Thank
always
you very
say
much.
the facts. I always say the facts. I gave my criticism and also give reason for some of our problems. I'm not one-sided. I don't just talk one side because you let the party go wrong. I say do the wrong thing.
Do you think the government of
So-
Liberia and United Party went wrong on
so-
that project?
So, you see, I think we've
I'm-
been here.
I'm-
I'm
I'm-
not going
I'm
to answer
asking-
you
I'm
yes
just-
or no question. I gave you no.
Guys,
I
if
don't
you-
answer- I'm
if
not
you-
gonna give you-
If you're watching
I
us, this
gave
is
you- because first and foremost, we have issue with the cost of the project, and we got process $250,000 is a stack of money to spend. Did we order that project to verify? We haven't done that yet. There's still room. The project was presented. If there's an issue, they are represented. They are council member in Bapolu. They are citizens of Bapolu County who are in government. They got the Senate caucus in Bapolu who oversee that project as well as government. And they got citizens of the consensus of Bapolu can also go to LACC to audit that project.
Mr. Boda, now
So they
that
allowed to be
we're
done yet, even though the project 250,000, we agree. I'm not arguing the fact that the project is what the people want. No, I said that here in my,
Do you
in my
think-
intro.
No, but the thing is, so coming, Mr. Boda, don't even agree on that thing. You and I, we are Liberians. You are carrying on projects in Liberia, right? You are no, Mr. Boda.
No, it's not a fact. I can
Yes, so just coming. You are carrying on projects in Liberia. You are talking about 250,000 in Bapolu County. In Bapolu County, in Liberia. Look at these materials that are used. Are they of international standard? All of these things, they are produced right in Liberia. Even the pipe. Look at the pipe, for example. Look at the water barrel. Then look at that water barrel. Seti Brother is producing that thing right in Liberia. My people, let's be fair. Look at the lithium battery that in that particular place. The lithium battery is in Liberia. Look at the solar panel. That solar panel, you, if I'm not mistaken, you having some to your house, for convenience and other stuff. Look. Let's be sincere and be fair. Let's be sincere and be fair.
Mr. Boda,
Stop dramatizing.
Mr.
No,
Boda.
it's not dramatizing.
No, you just dramatizing here. Don't
Mr.
stop
Boda,
dramatizing.
Mr. Boda, if I may, can I ask you a
Stop
question?
dramatizing. Let's talk the
Mr.
issue. Dramatizing
Boda,
will not do anything
Mr.
for
Boda, Mr. Boda.
you. This is
If I may,
let's
Mr. Boda,
look at the issue.
Mr.
Don't
Boda,
dramatize here and all the dramatizing will not do anything, brother.
Mr. Boda, if I may ask you this question though, about the president being there to start that project, to donate that project to the people of Bapolu County, was it necessary? Do you think he could have or designated the minister of water and sewage to do that? Why was it necessary that the president be there to donate that project?
So let me ask you.
I want you to answer the question, Mr. Boda.
Before I answer you, if the president didn't go and send his deputy, any principal from his office to go and dedicate that project, would that make any difference?
I don't think it would have.
Okay.
Well,
But I'm asking you,
just a little bit.
I'm asking you. This is what I'm not trying to put down this project. I'm sure a lot of people from Bapolu County.
Don't say you're not.
No, I'm not.
The project is being
Again,
put down
I'm
to the
just
ground.
asking questions, Mr.
You can't
Boda.
have it both ways, bro.
Allow me to ask you the question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sure a lot of Liberians will benefit from having access to safe drinking water, specifically those in Bapolu County. So my question is not to bring down the project from the government. I'm asking you, was it necessary for the president to go to Bapolu County to donate that project? Do you think it helps with the optics that the Liberian people are getting, that people are reacting to, that this project is like not something our president should be donating? It's not anything major they're saying. So do you think it was? Don't you think the president presence there kind of hurt the narratives or the optics?
So this is what I said to you. If you look at the recipient of that project, it's not even myself perception, right? Don't look at it from the perspective. You have our perception of that project, the building, the money spent there. Don't waff it. You are not perception. If you go to Bapolu where the project was presented,
By the way,
It's a
that's
di-
that's yeah, that's your
it's a
perception.
different
by the
it's
way.
a different perception of those people. So that's the point I'm trying to make
You're
here.
you're you're not
You
you're
and
not
our
answering
analysis,
you're
listen.
not answering my question, Mr. Boda. But anyways,
I'm answering your question.
anyways, Mr. Boda, let's
I
take
told
a
you if a Booker has sent his
Mr.
principal deputy, he sent any other person, will I make any difference? You said no.
Mr. Boda, let's
That's
take
the
a
answer
guys.
to the question. If Booker didn't go, you would say had the same argument.
If you're watching us, this is episode 10 of season 7, and we're talking about the president of Liberia and the government of Liberia rescue reservoir project in Bapolo County. And guys, let's take our first break. When we come back, please stay with us. When we come back, we'll get into the clash between the Liberia National Police and the armed forces and personnel of the armed forces of Liberia. But for now, let's take our first break.
Welcome to your new home away from home in the heart of Margibi County, Liberia. This privately owned guest house located at Disco Hill provides a spacious home for vacation rentals, including 3 comfortably decorated bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. Here, we aim to meet the need of every one of our guests. Do you plan on hosting a meeting? Invite your team to our expansive lounging area, which is perfect for conferences. Let our attentive staff help you celebrate life's biggest moments with your loved ones in our spacious indoor and outdoor event area with chairs, tables, and all your event needs. Whether you're visiting home from abroad or right here in Liberia, we're ready to take your call. Welcome home. Call us now to book your reservation at your new home away from home.
Attention all organizations, NGOs, and social clubs in and out of Liberia. Are you tired of relying solely on social media to run your operations? An effective web platform is your most important marketing tool, and that's where Tiamat.com comes in. Hello, my Liberian people. My name is Sophia, and I want you to consider this. 53% of consumers do online research about an organization before talking to someone from that institution. That means not having a website could be costing you opportunities. Step up your game and establish a professional online presence. Introducing our web platform, designed specifically for 501c organizations, small businesses, and political organizations, social clubs, etc. At Tiamat.com, we understand how important it is to make a great digital first impression, which is why we offer you all the help needed to develop, maintain, and host NGOs and small and big organization websites by giving you a full suite of services that includes automatic billing for members, membership and visitor portals, first-class design and functionality, and much more. The best part is, it only costs $20 per month. Upgrade your image today with our customized web design services. Visit www.tiamat.com to get started. This is a Liberian-owned business.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Hard Zone episode 10 of season 7. If you've been here, we say thank you again for joining us after this break. We've been talking about the rescue reservoir project, and now let's get into the clash between between members of the armed forces of Liberia and that of members of the Liberia National Police. But you guys have followed that development. We've seen a lot of videos circulating social media. But let me just play this video and have my production team play this video. And let's get into this and how it ties into other issue of lawlessness in Liberia. But again, let's watch the video and then after we can get into it. There's no sound. Can you guys hear the sound?
Yeah, the sound a little bit. I think they need to adjust it. Is that the beginning of the video? Is that how the video started? Or that? With the guy just beating the policeman?
I will not be able to tell you. I don't know if that's.
It's kind of difficult to. I see a motorcycle on the ground. I don't know what's going on.
Either ways, you guys have followed this development, and again, we see personnel of the Armed Forces of Liberia, the AFL, and I cannot be able to identify what the person in that vest is a member of the Liberia National Police. Again, you guys got the picture. It's disturbing, it's embarrassing, and it's just unthinkable. Those are some of the words that Liberians in Liberia and the diaspora have used to describe what is going on, specifically to that particular incident, and just that tie into all of incidents of lawlessness we've seen, and the lawmaker from District 10 and his behavior in the House of Representatives in a protest of the speaker that is not recognized by the Constitution, and just so many things happening in the country. It begs us to ask the question, what is going on? What is going on? This president that, again, is almost like a song now, has been around public office for over 40 years, and he has preached about respecting the rule of law, bringing the country together, and preaching peace and unity, and making things right in Liberia. Just under a year, we've lost count of the incidents of lawlessness that we have witnessed. Again, if you're watching us in the audience, I know you have a position on this. Make sure you share that with us in the comment section. But now I will have our panelists tell you what they think overall. Mr. Boda, you know I was going to come to you first. Talk. This is 50% your government. I have to say that because I don't want you to put your hand and say, "Oh, I'm now a full-time United Partisan." But this is your government. I'm sure you can. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if you. I want again. You've heard this style of the show saying it's disappointing to see what's going on, but do you let me first of all give you the opportunity to talk to us what you think about this particular. I think I am not a well versed in Liberian history when it comes to this type of things, but I can say confidently that this is the first of the kind, excusing the civil crisis, that under a president where we have a very fragile peace, the armed forces of Liberia is clashing with the Liberian National Police. And we have to say, although the Liberian National Police, through their Facebook page, debunked this and they're not aware of it, but we've seen videos, we've seen narratives from different news media, different media institutions about this institution. Again, what is going on? Mr. Boda, let's hear from you.
So, for me, first of all, the action of the security apparatus, those in security and who are supposed to protect and law and property and life in the country, behaving in such a manner is unacceptable. And I mean, nobody should applaud security, army men beating a policeman in the public or fighting or whatever. These are people that are supposed to protect the land, the property. And if such an action in our hand is going on, that is just not acceptable. That needs to be corrected. And because first, that shows there's no training. These people lack the necessary training, the professionalism. There are a lot that needs to be done first. They need to be trained. They are not trained because on either side. They need some training, and it's not something that the citizenry is supposed to see happening, because that is complete disarray of law and order within the security apparatus. Whatever the circumstances, because the video, I cannot speak to the video in its totality because I don't know what happened and where it started from, what's going on. I just seen a video where they're beating somebody, so it's difficult for me to say exactly what happened. But that shouldn't be happening in the first place. Okay, it's totally wrong. It's not acceptable in any civilized society in the modern world that we live in with a whole lot of gadgets around, people view around. This is not a dark age where things like that you will never see. Every corner you turn, everything is on recorder. So it's totally wrong. It shouldn't be accepted. And both the police director, the chief of staff, and the military needs to investigate thoroughly and train our people. And some action be taken against these officers that were involved in such acts.
Thank you very much, Mr. Boda. But again, I would just like to announce to the audience that Mr. Boda has officially released an official statement before the president of Liberia can respond to that. Again, what do you think? The president haven't responded to that, and like every other major thing that happen in the country, the president don't say anything. And is the Boda, what is he going to say something this time, or what do you think about the president not responding to things like that involving like the AFL and the Liberia National Police? You released a statement before him. That's very interesting.
I don't think the president will have to. I don't think it's necessary that he release any statement to the general public. I would think that he had directed his staff, the chief of staff, and his director of police and the chief of police, those in charge of these people, to have an investigation, internal investigation done as to what happened. You know, all the time making public announcement. Yeah, I mean, I think there are people in government who are responsible to make some statement. You have the press and public affairs people who are supposed to speak to that. Because sometimes, you know, you don't want to put your foot in your mouth as a president. Because sometimes you might say something that you didn't get out of the picture. So you speak last. It's not always good to just come in the public and just come up with statement, because first of all, that situation needs to be investigated. Like I said earlier, we don't know the full detail of what happened. We just saw somebody beating police coming. I mean, man, throwing one policeman down and kicking left and right in the street. I can't say exactly what happened. It was a wrong scene for me. So it's not something that the president should just start making public statement right away. That's my thought on that. I think the people that are responsible for these men and women in uniform should be given the opportunity to investigate that incident and report back to the president. And upon that, the president can maybe address the issue publicly or say something or take some action that will be able to correct such an incident in the next time to come. Because you will say today, oh yeah, this happened, and make all the statement. We need some action taken by the president. That action should be done through investigation. And after investigation, there should people that were responsible for that be held responsible. And secondly, provide mandatory training for these people to understand that they are not just in the street for themselves. They are there to represent the Liberian people.
Thank you very much, Mr. Boda. According to you, the president don't have to speak on anything.
No, I didn't say anything. No, I did not say
the president do not have to speak.
I did not say the president have to speak on anything.
The president got his staff to speak for him on major things like this when it happens.
It's make a statement clear. I did not say you don't have to speak on anything. I never said that. That's correct.
Again, I stand corrected. The president do not have
an issue. So I say you cannot speak on any issue. I said not
the
all
president
have to just make statement on because it happened.
Again, either way, no matter how you say it, I just find it interesting based on the argument you guys made in the past administration. So I will come back to you on that. But let me.
Now I see your point. Okay.
Let me hear from Mr. Brown. Talk to us about this whole clash between the
now,
AFL.
This is a president and this is a government that is traveling. Firstly, you say, Mr. Bola, you said the president do not have to speak, or he have to speak last, right? I'll just make this point. This is the president that traveling places, country, to allocate funds to try to get other people to come to Liberia and invest. You would not think, you would think that he should come and lay something at ease. So international community, people are watching this. This news is everywhere now. The full detail of what happened is online. It's not only on our platform, but it's on national platform. So these are the country. This is a president that is traveling countries to try to allocate funds for the country. So I would think we should be not the first. I agree with you with that. Not the first. But there's many incidents in Liberia that he haven't spoke about. Some of the issue of what's happening against the lawmakers. Yes, he cannot set up either one of them down and beat them or tell them to stop, but he can speak about these things. So these people that he's trying to allocate funds for can understand, like, okay, he's seeing this, what's going on. So I do feel like he needs to speak. And that's how you put the Liberian people mind at ease. Then we know that you're working. Well, you can't be traveling tomorrow. You gotta go to this country to go talk to the people president for them to come invest. And then they're looking on Facebook. They're seeing your national security, somebody that's supposed to be protecting you. So basically, what happened? Police officer misidentified AFL officer, and after the incident, the AFL officer go get one of people there and come and beat up a police officer, and it was a big one. They went to the police station and all it was a big fight. That is a big issue. So yes, he needs to speak on that, and then on almost every other thing that's happening in the country, because. Yes, I agree. That's not every little things he's talking about, but this is not little. This is not little.
That's a very concerning statement from Mr. Boda again.
This is not a little statement. And then what's going on right now with the representative and stuff like that's going on? We need to hear. He needs to have some type of dialogue, some type of conversation, because it is unacceptable. There is a lot of unlawful things that have happened in this government than almost any other government we have seen.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Mr. Siri, let me. I know you already have what you want to say into this specifically to this conversation, but let me just ask you a question based on what was said for the previous administration that you supported. It was all around that the peace we had in Liberia under former President Weah was a fragile peace. Now, just looking at what's going on in this country, in Liberia. Do you think we still have that, or do you think this is a lawless country? We cannot compare it to what we experienced under President George Manneh Weah?
Liberia under Joseph Nyeoma Boyka is a lawless nation. It's a Janjaweed republic, a banana republic. I'm going to give you instances. Sometimes we say things, and because maybe some of us are not there, so we are not seeing the gravity of what is going on. But let me remind you, or remind Liberians, who killed a Liberian who was allegedly stealing current in Corway? Was it not the same police? All of us know the records. The records are there. According to the police, they went for the field inspection with LEC team. They saw this fellow in Corway who they alleged that he was stealing current. What did they do? They used the maximum force, and today he is no more. His wife and kids are still crying. That is one instance of the police brutality. Another one. Let's look at what happened in Kinjo. When the police went there, what did they do? The police used lethal force and killed our brothers and sisters in Grand Cape Man County. What came from out of it? Who was held responsible? What was the statement from the Ministry of Justice? Nothing. They walk away with impunity. 3 cases that happened in Mosorado County in a police cell. They say the first one, that one boy that had an altercation with somebody over, issue of car repairs. And he was taken to the police station. In the police station, that man was able to pay some of the criminals that were in the station. They beat that boy to death. At the end of the day, the police say the man hanged himself in the prison in Mosorado County. We also saw a girl who was molested by police officers. At the end of the day, to destroy evidence, they hanged that girl in police station. In Liberia, we say police station. In a police station, the girl hanged herself. The information are here. In police cell again, she died. There is a lay boy, a 17-year-old boy who was helping to repair his mother house. That happened in Pinsville. Police said they're running behind drug people. They took gun. They fire. They unalive that particular boy. DEA people say they go arrest somebody in Zonotan. They took a gun again. They unalive somebody. So we can give you countless instances of how the police has been operating under this particular Boyka-led administration. But you know why they are behaving the way they are behaving? Is because Mr. Boyka has given them the go-ahead. Now you commit any crime, you do anything, you'll get my backing. Somebody will say, Prince, why are you saying so? What kind of strong thing you say? I'm going to give you an example. Before the 2023, or let's say during the period of campaign, the current Minister of Internal Affairs of the Republic of Liberia is on tape threatening another law enforcer, an immigration officer in Lofa, Francis Sakila Nyimale, saying to another security person, he say, I get people then here, I get men then here, we put them on the motorbike, I get about 73 men. Any place we see that particular man, we unalive him. We take a life. You ask the people around here, he even used the F word. He said, I'm an F rebel that have protected my people here. I will deal with them. We saw what happened when group of unity partisans under the banner of 800 militants to protect, how you call the unity party. What did they do in Lofa to our brother Momo, Tamba Momo? In a broad daylight, they mobbed that brother to death. In broad daylight. Security were there, they were standing up, they could not go there. 800 militants to protect the unity party. These are stories that are all over. What came out of it? Let's look at our sister right here to Freeport, Queen Johnson. Queen Johnson is on record. The videos are all over. We need to go somewhere to go tape. The videos are all over. Queen Johnson is on video holding another Liberian and allowing people to beat that brother. And he lost his life. What happened? Mr. Boyka gave her position as the director of records. Freeport. So, Mr. Boyka behavior has condoned what is happening because this man have taken no action against people who deliberately decide to use the flag or decide to use their proximity to power to abuse our people. In fact, he has hailed them and has given them an accolade by giving them positions in government. So what do you expect? Look, the way the leader will behave will determine how the subject will be governed or how they too will behave. You saw President Weah. When President Weah was there, I am not using this show to say that all was rosy. Everything was rosy. No, it's not what I'm saying. We had our own challenges. But because of the way President Weah deal with the civilian, so even the people who are the law people who are supposed to protect the law, security people, they were very careful. I'm not saying that there were not mistakes. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that there were not, issues or challenges. There were. But as compared to what we are seeing, to see the army and the police, the fighting in broad daylight, and citizens on the side cheering, hey, army, we for you. Hey, army, we for you. There's a breakdown in the system. It's because Boyka himself does not respect the rule of law. Oh, I need to tell you how many times Boyka look at the court and get a middle finger and tell us that we're not listening. Or you know the issue with the the Liberia Telecommunication group there. When they took these people from there illegally and they ran to the court, and the court told Mr. Boyka, said, Mr. Boyka, we're begging you, papi. You too old for you not to respect law. You still on in the government team. Go put the people back the way you took them from there. You're not correct. What did Boyka say? What did he tell the people? He said, oh, are you terminating? He gave them middle finger from there. He went on the other side. He said, okay, we suspend them. Let's look at the central bank. He took the governor from there. The man ran to court. He bypassed the court. He went to make call. He said, I get 300,000 for you. I beg you. I'll give you 300,000 here. Don't mind the people that went to the court. No, let's even put that one aside. Let's look at how you call her Madam Councilor Gloria Mususka. Let's look at Gloria Mususka. This woman told us in broad daylight, you don't need to be an investigator to know. The woman say she killed somebody in your house. She pepper sprayed the president. The woman, they collected her, they put her in jail. After they finished judging, Josiah Numa Boyka was able to use his influence, his power. He said, you, Gloria Mususka, you will not sit down here. I'll tell you from here. As soon he took the woman from there, where he carried her. And at Noka, she became board chairman of Noka. But we need to tell you these things. So Boyka is not a respecter of the law. How you expect a subject to study? You the power in the house. You fighting everybody. You breaking your wife. You really take the attachment. You calling for her. Hey, you live for her. Get an old bed. You throw her back. What the children will do? The children will grow up seeing this kind. That's what happening in the security sector. That you see, how many people wake up, the people to wake up a case of villain. But look, there is a time coming, and let me say this on this particular platform. There's going to be serious citizen uprising against the police or the security forces. There's going to be, that time is coming. We can see it. It's
30
breeding.
seconds, Mr.
And
Sheriff.
Boyka will be the cause of that. Boyka will be the cause. And Boyka and whoever that is associated with him, don't think that you will plunge this nation into chaos, then you'll go say that somewhere. Wherever you are, you will stay answer to the Liberian people. Thank God that we are in a global village and Liberians are all over. Even when you go in space, Liberians are there. If you think that you will make Liberia to be ungovernable, create a kind of toxic environment, then you think you will get your family passport for them to run away. We can assure you that they get nowhere to run. They will still answer to us. They like it in America that the place said they will answer more. They like it will go everywhere. We will be there and they will answer. This is appalling. It's appalling.
Thank you very
There's
much.
a breakdown in the security sector, completely on a Boyka.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sheriff. Let me come back to you, Mr. Boda, and I don't know if you would like to respond to Mr. Sheriff, but let me ask you this question based on what he said, and I don't know if you agree or disagree with it. First, he accused the president of not being a respecter of the law, and also overall, he said Liberia is a lawless nation, Mr. Boda. What do you think? Because I know you yourself have expressed some level of disappointment in this administration, and you've seen what's going on with the country, the Liberian National Police, and all of the incidents. I don't know if all of the incidents you and Mr. Sheriff mentioned you're aware of it, but some of those incidents, especially in the beginning, the one with the police going at the CDC headquarters, I think 2 times, and all of that. So, will you agree with Mr. Sheriff that this is indeed a lawless nation, and Mr. Boyka or President Boyka is not a respecter of the law?
I don't want that. That's for how word I'm going to use a lawless country. I think there are some component of our society that misbehaving needs to be corrected. I don't want to just throw a blanket statement on Liberia being a lawless country. That would not be my statement. But I think there are a lot of instances that need to be addressed. That is worrisome for us as a citizen, as a country. We shouldn't be doing some of the things that are happening. And in reference to the court and the president, there have been a lot of political maneuvering in the court sector along with the president. And those things are political situations. That is not just unique to Liberia. We see many of it happening right here in our own backyard as we speak today. So we all get reference to that.
Go ahead.
We saw Mr. Donald Trump who came to power. If you look at the January 6th incident, it's a clear example of some of the things people who went to the capital in the first in the history of the United States, greater country on earth. When it stormed the Capitol, policemen were killed. A lot of things happened there. We all can attest to that video all over. And these people are walking scot-free today. They all have plead guilty to some of the crime they committed. So you're going to tell me America is a lawless country? A lot of things are happening. But there are incidents, things happen. So I don't, like I said, I don't want to throw a blanket statement. There are some wrong elements in our security apparatus, in our judiciary system, in our governance system, that need to be corrected.
Thank you. Let me stay with you and rephrase this question. And earlier, Mr. Brown talked about how investors will feel about our nation given what's going on. And I like the fact that you brought up the U.S. and the situation with President Donald Trump. But for what happened, or some of what happened, he served his day in court. And using that, all of the incidents that have happened in Liberia involved with Liberians losing their precious life. Mr. Boda, to the best of your knowledge, and some of which Mr. Sheriff did a very good job reminding us of it. Can you name one of those incidents that the president actually investigated and people went to court or people were penalized or Liberia lost their life and there's no outcome? So can you talk to our audience about one specific incident that the president, the way he handled it and the outcome of it can make you to say maybe this country is now a lawless and lawless things happening, but the country overall is not a lawless nation?
Well, the incident in Cameroon, the government was able to investigate. There were some mixed application of force by the government, the police forces. I think police acknowledged that. I think that investigation was done, and there was some element of police they acknowledged that. I think there was some settlement made to family members. I might be wrong or correct. I think in that incident in Cameroon, okay, and there are things that are happening, like police brutality is not unique to Liberia. Okay? It's not right. I'm not saying it's right. Like I said, we need to investigate this situation and bring it to bed. Okay? I'm not saying it's right, but I'm not going to label that reason. I'm not going to label Liberia as a military state or as a lawless country where everything is just there's no control of anything. Everything is completely out of hand. No, everything is not out of hand in Liberia. There are instances, there are incidents that are happening. We can admit to those instances. We can correct them. Okay, that's my point I'm making. But I'm not going to label Liberia as a lawless country that everything is just completely. When you talk about lawless, that means there's no fear. People are living in fear. It's not like that in Liberia. Let's be honest. People are not living in fear in Liberia that when I come out today, police, I'll be killed or I will die tomorrow morning in the street. That's not the situation in Liberia right now.
You know, one and again, I will go over to Mr. Brown after this. But I think some would disagree with you when you have a country where the security apparatus or two of the biggest security institutions, they are clashing at each other. There's no misunderstanding. There's no understanding between them. Police fighting the EFL, and you name it. I think you will agree that it instills some level of fear in the Liberian people because, like they say, the police are your friends. If the people are afraid that the police are getting into fight with the EFL, I think you will agree that will instill some level of fear in them. Can the people really trust the Liberian National Police now?
They're cool. Let's look at the instances that happened. Like I said to you, there was a military man that was alleged beating or whatever happened to him that was not identified as a military man. That's the genesis of this crisis. And the national police acknowledged that the military acknowledged that. And an element within the military got up and went back to that policeman who allegedly beat the man who was not identified as a military man. And who's those are disgruntled people.
You know what I found.
Are disgruntled people. They should be dead.
You know what I found.
You cannot label that as. So these people are trained military people. And they shouldn't
You know
have
what
done
I
that.
find? We should
They
play
should
the
have been
video.
dismissed immediately in the first place.
Let's hear from Mr. Brown. But before we do, I think I will say this, Mr. Boda. Earlier when we started the discussion, you said you didn't know what happened over there, and you've given us full detail of what actually happened. You just give us that. So I don't know what you're hiding about this government, but let's hear from.
No, I'm not hiding something. I said
Mr.
the picture did not depict exactly what happened. If you don't know the story, you will not know.
But you said
why
you
or
didn't.
did not
You said
happen.
you didn't know. You said you specifically did not know the story. But here's the thing, Mr. Brown. You've heard everyone a deliberation here, and just close this out. Let's take our final break, and then we'll give you guys the opportunity to close.
So for me, go ahead.
I got a question. I know you talk about investors, but if imagine yourself living in Liberia, I know you have friends, family there. Will you, given what's going on, especially with the Liberia National Police, will you still have confidence, and will you still trust the Liberia National Police to protect you, your family, and your properties?
No, I will not, because the simply is this, right? The police themselves, okay? You cannot call a police officer at certain time in Liberia. It is known. Past probably 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, you cannot call a police officer. They're not coming. Police officer, firstly, they don't have the. I don't blame them. I don't blame them for to that point, right? To that point, I don't blame them. I blame the government, okay? Because the police don't have resources to get to these places, cars to get to these places. They don't even have good communication system. Police don't have good communication system. Recently, the police director went to a scene, and he was referring to one of the police officers like, "Hey you, hey you." You cannot see that anywhere. Hey you, my man, you cannot see that anywhere. In a professional sector, no, you cannot see that anywhere. So no, I will not allow or protect or accept that protection, mediocre protection. Everything that's going on right now with this government, even in the past government, everything that's been going on right now in Liberia for the last probably 12 years are all mediocre things. Right now, the protection the people are getting is not protection. When do the people really need a police officers? At night. Are the police able to protect these people at night? They cannot. It is not their fault. It is also the government fault. They don't have the resources to do it. Police officers got to call all the police officers by phone, cell phone. Oh, my man, where you at? When police officers pull you over or they arrest you, they will get in your car for you to go to the police station. That is not something that a police supposed to be doing. But then again, like I said, some of these things, I don't blame the police officer. To your question, I don't blame the police officers. Now, I agree with Mr. Sharif that the country is a lawless country. Coming from the representatives, senators, and all this stuff, I watched a recent video of a sitting representative, Mr. Yega Koluwa. He's driving a car with no license plate. I do not believe, I could be wrong, I stand to be corrected. I do not believe the Constitution of Liberia exempt a lawmaker for having a license plate. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. And I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, it is what it is. But we cannot be a representative. You cannot see that anywhere else. So that's some of the reasons, that's some of the instances that we're speaking of and say this is a lawless country. What is the investigation right now onto the city hall that burned? What is the investigation? How far is it? What's the update? We don't, I'm pretty sure right now we don't know where it's at. So these are the things that we're talking about. Mr. Bola, you spoke about America. What are we trying to say here is this. These guys, that whatever happened to the city hall, with the Capitol building, these guys went to court. They had their date in court. But most of the incident that's happening in Liberia, they never made it to court. They all got swept under the rug. Now, even for example, when I just spoke about the Yega Koluwa, let's say whatever he's doing is I believe is unconstitutional. If you pull him over, if a police officer pull him over, and nothing can come out of that. Nothing, absolutely nothing. That's some of the reason that constitutes a lawless country. You cannot call police for anything. The country is lawless because you cannot call a police officer if an armed robber was in your house, if you was getting robbed in your house. The police is not coming there because they are not equipped to come there and protect you or rescue you. That's what considered a lawless country. A fire incident happened, and the president came and said, whoever, without a proper investigation. We don't even know what happened to the fire, how it started. That's a lawless country. If that's a lawless country, if you cannot get to the root of things, if you cannot get to a bottom of things, if you cannot get a proper investigation, that's what makes it a lawless country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys, for your contribution here today. Let's take our final break, and when we come back, we will give you guys the opportunity to close on this episode, and then we will draw the curtain to this one. But for now, let's take our last break.
Introducing Suku Express, shipping from the USA to Liberia, offering pickup services from Maryland, Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Jersey, and New York. Suku Express is very reliable, efficient, trustworthy, and seamless. U.S. warehouse and loading dock is at 54101 Tacony Street, Philadelphia, PA 19137. Contact 267-987-6821 or 267-437-6463. Then in Liberia, at Dry Rice Market, Bannersville Road. Contact 0775-245-666 or 0555-594-53.
Hey, this is Grace, the CEO of the founder Suku Express. Parcel your stuff good, valuable stuff goes in the plastic barrel. You gotta shrink wrap, you lock the barrel, you gotta shrink wrap the barrel, protect your stuff. Boxes, useful, use shoes. Any box taller than me, I can't ship it.
With Suku Express, your worries are over. Ship with confidence and ease. Thanks for doing businesses with Suku Express.
Celebrating the lives of our dearly departed loved ones is no easy task. That's why you become family the minute you walk through the doors of the Exodus Funeral Chapel. Exodus Funeral Chapel is deeply committed to helping you navigate your way through this difficult time. Our services are reliable, affordable, and professional. Call us, visit our website, or feel free to stop by in person for your consultation. At the Exodus Funeral Chapel, we believe in the dignity of your loved ones. Empathy and respect is the goal of our staff. Exodus Funeral Chapel. Empathy, respect, and dignity. Maintaining your vehicle can be a major investment. That's why here at Brothers Auto Care, we pride ourselves on providing professional and reliable auto care at affordable rates. Whether you need an inspection, new brakes, or diagnostic reports, our skillful and experienced mechanics are here for you every step of the way. Call Brothers Auto Care now to schedule your next auto maintenance and repair service. At Brothers Auto Care, we help you drive home with peace of mind.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we are at the very end of the Hard Zone, episode 10 of season 7. And again, just by way of announcement, we are here every Thursday at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern time. So if this is the first time joining us, we say thank you for being here, and make sure you join us back here on the Liberia Radio and Television Network for another enticing episode next week and every week. Again, we're at the very, very, very end. Mr. Boda, Mr. Sheriff, and Mr. Brown, thank you guys for your contribution here today. And this is the final segment of this show. So again, I'd like to keep it on a positive note. We've talked about the issues. We've talked about some of the current events. If you guys can just add to your closing statement, what do you think? Where do we go from here? How do you think the president of Liberia should respond to this? Will respond to this? So I will greatly appreciate that. To all of you in the audience, again, thank you so much for your participation tonight, just by viewing and commenting and try to keep this interactive. We appreciate it. So continue to do so. We have more episodes on the way here on the Horizon on the Liberian Television Network. With that being said, I'll let's start with you, Mr. Brown. Give us your closing statement if you can. Talk to us. Where do we go from here as a country? And what do you think the president should do, will do? Or talk to us.
For me, on the line of the president, I don't have hope of what he would do because I feel like, man, you've been around for 40 years and your decision is still mediocre. You're still acting as somebody that have no experience. But I mean, if he will travel to this country to try to allocate funds to speak with these people to come to Liberia to invest, I believe what he should do is try to get his house in order. He could start from his city hall, where the representative every single day there's a fight going on. He could start from there. He could start from having some type of dialogue, some type of conversations. I understand that these are elective guys, but he can have a conversation. So the international community where he's trying to allocate these funds from, these guys can know that, okay, this guy, at least the president is trying. So yes, I think he should speak on some of these issues that's going on. Because if I'm gonna go invest, if you come to me want me to go invest, I should see that your house generally in order. So I strongly believe I think that's what he should do. Try to get his house in order before traveling out there and try to allocate funds. But as it stands, the Liberia National Police and the AFL thing that going on, hopefully we get that resolved as soon as possible because that is an international issue. That is a big problem that's going on. Okay, but other than that, the donation was horrible. I still stand by that. I will hope, we Liberians don't see that as a step towards anything. Yes, the safe drinking water, but we for the government donation, for the government initiation, government. There is not somebody that was just working out here and just trying to give back. This is something from the government. This is almost $200,000-$300,000 project. Let's be serious. But again, my main point is Mr. Bwaka, please try to get your house in order. And then while you out there, which is a good thing he's doing, try to get help out from out there. But how can the help come? Who's going back there to invest? Who's going out there to take businesses? There's no business seeing these things that's going on, all these calamities, all this chaos, all these atrocity, all these things that's going on. Nobody is going to take their business or their money and go back into Liberia and try to invest it, given what's going on. The chaos from the representative up there, and the chaos from the police officers, and everything that's going on. Lawless. Thank you.
Thank you. You might be wrong because the president and his foreign minister is in close proximity to Elon Musk, so you never know. He might take his billions of dollars to that country. But let's hear from you, Mr. Sherry. Give us a closing statement.
Yeah, I think it's terrible for our nation. Of recent, according to the finance minister, about $50+ million was slashed out of our budget from USAID funding. And it is unfortunate that the government is not even doing anything to put into play what we call a responsible fiscal policy to ensure that $50 million that was slashed from our budget, at least that they can get it back. They are not doing anything. only for the finance minister to tell us that we got to pray. You see, these are some of the things that we are talking. When Mr. Boyka has increased his budget, the budgetary allocation for his office by 150%, the vice president of the Republic of Liberia has increased his budget by 150%. These people that we refer to as senators and our lawmakers, they have also increased their funding. And the thing is, Mr. Boyka is taking no step to ensure that that discipline, that fiscal discipline, is put in place. You are seeing what is happening. As I speak to you now, there are schools in Liberia, especially in the Leeward counties. I was listening to a video not too long of what was happening in Sino. I mean, the whole high school, they had just have 3 teachers. And the 3 teachers were all voluntary teachers. Because they did not put them on the payroll, guess what? Those 3 teachers decided that they're going. Can you imagine a high school with 3 teachers? Lofa County, where Mr. Boyka is from, the high school that is there is without teacher. For the past almost 1 month, the school has been virtually closed because the high school portion of it, the teachers, they are not coming. And there is nothing that this government is doing to ensure that our people benefit. But Boyka will use almost about $500,000+ to go to Ghana and just come back. According to him, he's going to speak to a friend, going to attend a friend wedding party, going to attend wedding party. While our schools are in dilapidated conditions, while public schools are laying in ruins in the rural areas. You have our hospitals that now JFK is just for killing, go there. Mr. Boyka was brave enough to mount the podium and say to the Liberian people, go in all the hospital, then we get drugs in all the hospital. You think if Liberia was a serious country, you think Mr. Boyka would just walk away by saying all of these lies? Look at what is happening in the security sector. Now, all of these things that are happening is as a result of Mr. Boyka's inability to be able to solve issues. Remember when he just took over the soldier wife, when they had a protest? Let's ask ourselves, are those issues resolved? Those issues that they raised, were they resolved within a considerate period? Were they? No. So today we are seeing the army and the police, they are clashing. Let me tell you this, and let me leave this as a surprise to us on this platform. You know, most of these army people, they have people who are riding bikes for them as a means of income, because the army is not like the police. Like I said today earlier on my presentation, the army is not like the police. One way or the other, the policeman will get some kind of blatant to get a hand on. Somebody will call and say, oh, gee, somebody calls my mind, okay, but for me to go there, give me father. Then the citizen will get. So the citizens are always in direct interaction with the police. One way or the other, they say true crab feed that crack and drink water. But for the army, they are in the barracks. So most of the time when these guys take their pay, what they do is that they buy the second-hand motorbike and give it to some of their, relatives and say, my man, go and run for him because I'm on the barrack here. I don't take weekly pay. So when these guys run, maybe, for example, they will say, okay, every week you are to report maybe something like $4,000, just for example, just so that that AFL guy can be able to at least sustain himself and, sustain the family. Because they are not taking pay per week, like maybe some of us do in the Western world or in other areas. They have to wait for 31 days. It depends when the month gets 31 days, you wait for plus additional 1 week in the next month. So these motorcyclists, some of them that you see, they are also helping these army officers. You think these army officers, they are excited? They are happy that they are taking them off the street? They're almost like taking bread from on their table. Should we put into play a responsible, guideline, that people who are riding this bike, they will be safe and they will live in accordance with the rules? Yes, I believe that must be done. But the way that the police is behaving, is it correct? No. A traffic violation, you will run behind somebody until the man go bust a hair on a car, boo, then you happy, then you running around to the extent that you chasing behind somebody. Then the person running away, they look at what is happening. Look at what is happening. Is this kind of thing supposed to be happening in Liberia? Then you say Liberia is safe? The last time I hear Mr. Boyka trying to mock people from in the diaspora, That Trump coming, you don't come here. You want for people to go to the country. You can tell us whether we'll go there. With Liberia is our country. But honor your leadership. You think we're ready to go there with this kind of thing happening? Like Brother Brown said, we saw in an open day, like a lawmaker, the one who's supposed to be respecting the law, the one who even supposed to be afraid to see himself committing crime. The man in the open were telling people, y'all know for how you call it thing, drill. Y'all bust the man car, busting another lawmaker car. Can you imagine that? A lawmaker looking at a journalist and asking, say, y'all beat the journalist. All of these things are happening in Liberia. Is this the kind of Liberia? Is this the kind of rescue mission that you expected? My brother Boda, is it what you expected? Is this what you convince people for? That look, let give Mr. Boyka a chance. Is this what you convincing for? That a man will come today in our day, age, and time. This president will start to now live a luxurious life, living in punk and pageantry, like some kind of star, like some kind of musician. He traveling with private jet all around the place when you condemned it yesterday. Amen. Then the thing that is even more disgraceful, the traveling that he is traveling, what are the dividends are we accruing from all of these travels? The last time I can remember, President, we have traveled, what we have in Bapulu, we have the Emory Hospital. The last time he traveled, what do we have? We have the PHP Park. But all of the travels this man have made, to the extent that they made them meant to be, these people should stop doing this thing. They made them meant to be like a laughing stock, like a clown. The office of the presidency. They took AR, they put AR picture of Elon Musk in front of him. He was talking to Elon Musk. So they $51 million in Anchor. You can tell man Elon Musk to call and say Elon, they play where that easy. One of my men can say Elon. You can call Elon Musk, say Elon. So you can call Elon Musk to say, oh man, they $51 million, you're finna take a pick. Please help me with small thing. I can do it. So what happened to the 250 or 200? It is something yellow machine. Where is it? What happened to even the scholarship program from the level of the executive mansion? Can you imagine right in the office of the presidency, somebody can Joe poor Liberian and take their money in the New York who come and see on scholarship? What did they do? It move from there. It go all the way to the Fuel Lady office. Fuel Lady TCS. You look at the way they say, but get eating you for you to use this scheme as education. And Liberian people they want land. Let John inside. She said she joined inside too. They ate poor Liberian money. Amen. For God in heaven's sake. Where are we? Where are we? Some of the things that we see, we did not see under the Weah-led administration. We are not saying that there were not challenges. There were challenges, but the progress that we were making. But look at now, how fastly we are declining. President Weah led at 130 megawatts. You want to pay bill. The people call it down to 7.5. Can you imagine? Do you think we are going forward?
Thank you.
You think we are going forward? This is disgraceful. Look at the entire, how you call a lawmaker. Today, the day communication, they say they want to change their people, then where they get to ECOWAS, they come and change them. So their disrespect is not only contained in Liberia, but they have carried now to international level. Look at where we are. Under the watchful eyes of this 88-year-old man, where say he been working government, he get 42-year experience. That is the kind of experience where you get. Now we see why we were telling the Liberian people that don't allow the man to come near power. You saw what he did in CPP. He dismantled, disorganized, and disjoint the whole CPP. Now you see what he's doing now in our country. But we will resist him in keeping with law.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Sherry, for your contribution as always. Now let's hear from you, Mr. Boda. Give us your closing statement, and then we'll draw the curtain to this one.
Thank you. Like I said initially, Liberians in the diaspora, at home, wherever we are, one thing I wanted to understand. Whatever we do, we have to unite ourselves and have a focus. We want everything to happen in the twinkle of an eye. We got a democratic form of government. The Liberian people elected House of Representatives. It was not Joseph Boakai. Joseph Boakai did not send representation to the capital. Joseph Boakai responsible for the cabinet. The action of the House of Representatives is the Liberian people action. These are people they elected to represent them, to preserve, to write law for them, and govern them in the lower house and the upper house. And whatever they get from that house goes to the president for execution. And Liberian people will need to start talking, we who have the microphone, wherever we are, to our people to elect the right representative, not just president. Because we have always elected the wrong people in the House of Representatives and it multiply into the capital, into the executive mansion. So it is a learning for every one of us. Liberian today, I'm glad that we all can speak to the ill in our society. And I wish that in the past, we'll have done more of these in our argument about the past regime and other people that we represented the government that we saw. And things that are happening today were happening. We spoke against it and we'll continue to speak against the same thing in this government. So that my appeal to the Liberian people, let us continue to hold our government accountable and our leadership accountable in every sector. Let us just not talk because today is this person, but let us do it across a uniform approach to our situation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Martin Boda, and Mr. you too, Mr. Brown and Mr. Sheriff. Most importantly, to all of you that made this show a success today. And just before I draw the curtain to this one, I'd like to again make this announcement that we will be back here next Thursday, same time, same network. Make sure you are following us on Facebook. You're following us on Instagram, and you're subscribed to our channel on YouTube because we will be bringing you content every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. With that being said, I'd like to say thank you to all of you. And wherever you're watching us from, my name is Derek Yale, and please do have yourself a pleasant night.
Thank you.
My production team be on cue.
What was that honest? You run away?
Yeah, but we'll be here next Thursday, same time, same network. If I can just pull up this credit.
I mean, get a video there. Please get our video there right so that we'll come on and show the segment. We have full detail of video, not just. We see it on CNN when a guy got something, the able to dissect. They put that video and video explain itself. We don't want to be piece meat stuff, man. Please let our production team.
We will take feedback in the back.
Oh, we're on air, yeah?
We'll send. All right.
I thought we shut down. Well, you want to run away, got the way.